Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mr. Edi Lawani, the lead discussant for this panel. The floor is yours.
Discovering talent. I'm very happy that today I saw someone do the spoken word and she said something. English now, somebody else's vernacular. Is that correct? Somebody said to me, you know, I would have loved to go into the film industry, but I didn't do well in English language. And I said, to be a lighting expert like Harmony, you can talk to the lighting ethic and it will understand if you understand the codes. In English language, when they say, if you teach, what are you? Eh? What if you preach? What if you bleach? What if you coach? Eh? If you coach, but if you teach, English language no balance. So please, if not Efik, Ibibio, whatever language, just have an idea in your head that there's something you want to do. Language is just a way of expressing yourself. People that did this, I don't give a damn if they can speak English or not. Does it look beautiful? Put your hands together for people from this place, Calabar. They didn't bring anybody from Lagos to do this. Anyway, to the subject for today. In 2020, our lives changed. 2019, something happened. We're not quite sure what it was. People said it was a rumor. It's not true. Can it be possible? Then in 2020, about January, February, it became like a rumor that would not go away. It became like reality. And then before we knew it, the reality is here with us today. When I got off stage now, I was wearing a mask. I'm eternally scared. They say you can breathe in something and something can happen. Welcome to the world of COVID-19, and it went on to become a pandemic. Because nobody understood what it was, it had never happened before. They didn't know how to tackle it. So you are told, wash your hands, inhale steam, smoke igbo, chop bitter cola. People actually recommended Indian hemp, I'm not kidding. Eat bitter cola, drink lime. Experimenting. We didn't know which was going to work, but nobody was willing to take any chances. Fast forward, okay, keep social distancing. You know, as a matter of fact, don't come to work anymore. If your father returns from work, you can't hug him. If your child is sick, lock the child in a different room, isolate. All of this came with what became known as the COVID-19 pandemic. But in terms of our lives, it changed our lives, it's still changing it, and I do not see how many aspects of our lives that have changed can be unchained. What has been done, we're not able to undo it. So what do we do? Part of the reasons we're here to figure it out today. Now, with COVID-19, businesses shut down, there was unemployment, there was increase in mental health issues, and above all, there was insecurity. Because when people cannot work, they cannot earn, people that already have criminal minds will amplify it. There will be more attempts to try and cut corners. And for those who are law-abiding, thanks to our security forces doing the very best they can, I wish government can appreciate them as much as they put in the effort. So when you have insecurity, you can't work, you can't feed, you can't train your children, you are even afraid that what you have might be taken from you one way or the other. That causes a lot of mental pressure. People were going mad, people were dropping dead, high blood pressure. So when people say the aftermath of the COVID-19 pandemic, you look at yourself, you're wearing a mask, or you went to a party last night, you didn't wear a mask. You are fine. But there are thousands who have died. Thank God it's not as disastrous as it was predicted for Africa, but I've lost friends and family members to the COVID-19 scourge, and I'm sure a few of us also know people that passed. With all of that happening, you discover that you begin to get affected in ways you don't even imagine. Because you can't go to work, you can't go to church, your spirituality is challenged in some ways. So people become more spiritual because it's an illness that knows no answer, that knows no solution. So either way, for good or for bad, people were changed. So 2020 came and it changed us. And it has challenged us also to change. Now, bringing it back home to the entertainment industry. How many of you will go and spend $5,000 to watch a movie when your child needs $4,000 to pay for his school fees and you haven't paid the school fees? Would you leave your child's school fees to go and watch a movie? Who says yes? Would you go to a restaurant with your girlfriend or wife or friend, business associate, to have dinner for $40,000 when you do not have money to buy petrol? Or when you have to decide between buying petrol in your generator because there's no lights? So, in most cases, we spend money, the money we spend on entertainment is what you call disposable income. When your revenue stream shrinks, your disposable income is the first casualty. You are even ill. You rather go to the chemist, you can't go to a proper doctor because you can't afford it. So of all these businesses or areas of endeavors that was most impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic, the entertainment industry was the first casualty. Again, thanks to cable TV and the fact that they can bypass certain things to get things to run, because even radio stations in some places I know shut down. They couldn't afford to stay afloat because there was no business, nobody was advertising. If you didn't advertise, people couldn't get paid. And thanks to Hit FM, I heard they kept paying salaries despite all the problems. So today, we want to examine in how many ways the COVID-19 affected us. We know, but we just want to highlight it. You know what it did to you. I know what it did to me. She knows what it did to her. How many movies were produced? Production rate went down. If you cannot gather, you can't do a concert. Calabar Carnival, it didn't happen. In Lagos Countdown, it didn't happen. Now, like my brother Emeka said, he alluded to something. Let me expand it. On a movie production set, there's an average of minimum 60 people that will be employed for 1 month, for 2 months. I've been privileged to be part of the production process of Big Brother, one small part of it. I had over 70 people in my crew. And again, thanks to DSTV. Just one little part, that Sunday show that you see, the eviction show 2 years ago, when I played a part in that. My crew alone, Harmony was with us from Calabar. By the way, he has been representing Calabar very well in Nigeria and internationally. And I'm proud to say that he's my friend. I'm serious. And anyway, let me put that aside. When you look at the production like Big Brother, you look at over 1,000 people who are involved. And these are people who are involved, what you might call directly and first level indirectly. Then the benefits. People that would not have been able to pay their children's school fees or pay their house rent if that little production did not come up. So we take it for granted. Then talk about concert. Whenever we have a concert, there was a gospel concert here the other day. I couldn't come. I was monitoring it via digital platforms with Harmony. And I was surprised the number of people that were pulled together to work. So imagine that 20,000 people become jobless in one little community. What would that lead to? It will lead to hunger, but it will lead to hunger in such a way that the hunger will become pandemic, and it will lead to insecurity. The police force and military services will be stressed. Then, because they have to do what they have to do, there will be backlash and unrest, and in some cases, God forbid, we might have a total collapse. So, how come we survived the COVID-19 pandemic? There is the grace of God in it, but there's also what you might call undocumented interventions amongst people, a friend lending a friend a helping hand. But that was again just personal. And then people had to adapt. You didn't be told that you couldn't eat 3 times a day. You cut to 2, cut to 1. Some of us had to lose weight as if it was intentional, but we know the reason that you couldn't do the things that you did. The most important thing to take out of this, and I'm sure when we come to the panel, our able host will be able to bring up all the information that we need to dig. But the most important thing is nobody ever thought that something like COVID-19 and the way it turned out will ever happen. Even though we are told to expect the unexpected, if anybody told you you have a neighbor that lives 2 streets away from you, and mandatorily you can't go out of your house because there's a lockdown, and for 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month you won't see them, you say it's a lie. So what's our lesson? It came, it happened, we saw it, it went beyond that. What lesson do we take from this? We have to recalibrate ourselves and understand the power of forecasts. What can happen tomorrow? We don't know. Everybody goes to Uyo through one route, or you can go by water. If tomorrow you can't go through that route, everybody will say it cannot happen. But it's about time you start thinking, whatever has not happened, from what COVID-19 has taught us, it can happen. How do we prepare for that eventuality? One thing I sure know is that people learn to adapt, people learn to quickly be more flexible, and also people also learn to, what do you call it, strengthen relationship with families or friends and colleagues, because your circle of people you could relate with became important to you. I want to leave it at this point, and my honorable panel members will expand it from there. Thank you very much.